Hi, friends. How are you? I know it's been a while since I've been here live on YouTube, but I wanted to come back on here and just begin a new segment on my YouTube channel. This is going to be a segment that features real life scenarios, questions for how to manage your mental health, and really give you practical tips on little things you can do to live in wellness. Um, there is just so much information that's out there. There's so many questions. People are really hungry to develop good mental health strategies. And so I just wanted to be part of that conversation to let you know some of the things I do in my own life and also to let you know some of the things that I talk about in session with clients and some of the ways that people are just making small adjustments to their daily life to really get a handle on their mental health. So, this first video is going to be about anxiety. And I know if you're like me, anxiety just takes over. There's just so many little things that can just compound and create so much chaos in our thoughts. I've struggled with anxiety most of my life, pretty much as long as I can remember. And it wasn't until that I really embraced the idea that I struggled with anxiety that I began looking for ways to really manage and kind of structure my life so that I could learn how to get simple tasks done, to stay in a consistent mood day to day. Because anxiety doesn't just affect how we're feeling and the amount of worry that's going on, it affects our ability to focus, it affects our ability to connect emotionally with the people we care about, it affects our parenting, it affects our job performance, it affects the way we manage our household. I know for me that on a typical day, if my household is out of sorts and there's too many small household chores that need to be done, I can become immediately overwhelmed, and my anxiety can just really just rob me of my happiness and my joy and my self, my self energy, the ability to move myself throughout my day. So one of the things that I've been struggling with is the kids have started back to school, right? We've been in school for about 6 weeks now. And with anxiety, I don't handle change very well. Whenever a new process gets put into place and new things happen, that really affects my ability to connect emotionally. It affects my ability to feel secure. It affects my ability to just manage simple tasks, like being on time for things and feeling comfortable and sleeping well. All of those things get affected by new processes. And when school starts back, that's definitely a new process, right? So this year, my little one started fourth grade and my other little one started preschool. And it's just really just been such a huge struggle for me to just to manage everything throughout my day. And one of the things that I started challenging myself on, because I could tell my anxiety was really starting to control my emotions, it was affecting my mood. I was feeling very despondent from my life, very distracted all the time, and defeated every day. I was just all I could focus on was who was late and how many dishes, were piled up and how many things were left undone and the pile of laundry. And I really couldn't, I was having trouble just getting places on time. And those things just kind of robbed me of my feeling of success and significance and joy throughout my day. And I was really having trouble feeling happy with, just the progress my kids were making. I was having trouble feeling happy connecting. My child had a great day at school. I was feeling like everything was just so tightly wound. And so about a week ago, I was really challenged to stop focusing on this giant picture of my whole life and the entire school year and my children's future, and really just boil it down to simple progress and simple successes every day. So my first tip for setting healthy boundaries on your anxiety, for allowing yourself to rein in your anxiety is to really boil it down from moment to moment and focus on the small successes, right? Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And so, what that looks like for me is today, my 4 year old was to preschool on time. That was a huge success. Even if that's the only success I experienced today, which it won't be, but even if it was, that's something I can hold on to. Today, we were on time. Another success for me is I've had a personal goal of starting to become more active and walking. And for the last 3 weeks, I've walked at least one day each of those 3 weeks. I know one day is not my all time fitness goal, but it's enough. Okay. Allowing those small successes emotionally to be enough and really enjoying that. Okay. Another success is I've been sending home cooked meals with my kids, and every day they've gotten a fresh home cooked meal. So that's been something that I can really enjoy about the process. um, Really allowing yourself to pick out small tasks, small meaningful goals that you've set for yourself. Perhaps your goal is for your family to become healthier. Perhaps your goal is for you to become healthier. Perhaps your goal is to manage your time better or to experience success in your workplace. But really just picking out which success story can you tell each day, which meaningful progress, what meaningful progress have you made each day, and really holding on to that. And then reward yourself, right? Say, okay, that's awesome. The kids went to school. I was there on time. I'm going to reward myself by and do something for yourself that really is important and special for you. For me, rewarding myself looks like working on my business, looks like watching a TV show while I fold my laundry, what looks like maybe treating myself to a little dessert or a little cup of coffee from Starbucks, just rewarding myself in a small, meaningful way. So that's tip number one. All right. When managing big picture anxiety and new processes and changes, really focus on what small, meaningful progress you're making on goals. And I'll give you a little tip. If you don't feel like you're making progress on the goal you're working on currently, also include progress you have made on goals from your past that maybe you're still moving forward on. Okay? If you have a long term goal that you're still making progress on, oftentimes we can forget to include that in our successes. All right? Maybe for a long time you've been working on something like eating healthier or being more spiritual or working on a large project. And anytime that you can bring those into the picture, it might not be the goal you're currently actively focused on, but don't leave out those long-term lifestyle change goals. All right? All right. The other tip that I have, tip number 2, is to focus on significance versus success. Really ask yourself, would you rather be successful or would you rather be significant? And I think that this is important because oftentimes we say we want to be successful at something, but we haven't really decided what that looks like. We haven't decided how to nail down what progress really looks like. And so for you, sometimes you might say, well, progress on this goal might be I never, do like, let's say your goal is to be on time and to have better time management. Well, I'll never be late again, right? Well, that's unrealistic. And maybe you struggle with being on time like I do, and you're like, okay, well, I'll be on time every day of the week. Well, maybe the reality is that you just focus on 2 days a week you were on time. The other 3 days you really struggled, but 2 days a week you were on time, and that's awesome, right? That's better than zero. So sometimes you have to really set an idea of what your success looks like, and then ask yourself, am I making a significant difference, a value difference in my life, in the lives of others by having this goal? Is this goal significant and does it matter? Is it meaningful to my life and to the lives of the people around me? And oftentimes I think we can get distracted by measuring success compared to other people's success. And if you focus on what's significant, what's meaningful, you can really weed out some of those expectations you have placed on yourself for success. And you can just focus on what's meaningful and purposeful and true for you. All right. So that's tip number two, is to be significant and really identify what success really is for you. Because if you were just striving to be meaningful, then I imagine that success will look a little different than if you were just striving for success. All right. All right. My last tip to setting boundaries and limits on your anxiety. My anxiety does not allow me to be a beginner. My anxiety expects me to be perfect at everything I decide to do. And maybe not perfect in the fact that I, had all the grammar correct or all the details were in perfect order, but perfect in the way that it's what somebody is going to approve of. So my perfection looks a lot like seeking approval and getting people to accept, whatever it is that I'm offering. And so my anxiety does not allow me to make mistakes. And that has been a very big challenge, especially when starting a new process. Remember, we're talking about new processes and how change can cause a lot of anxiety, right? And we're changing and growing every day. But if we're changing and growing every day, what that means is we're a beginner every day. Every day we should embrace a beginner mindset. And beginner mindset looks like not having everything perfect, making mistakes, doing it and learning, having a learning and growth mindset, being open to the idea that not everything has to be exactly so. And it's okay if you don't know something, and it's okay if you have to Google something or ask questions or call a friend for help. You know, if you need to reach out and get a lifeline, that's okay, because we're all beginners. We're beginners at this thing called life. We're beginners at parenting oftentimes. We're beginners, even in our jobs, every day we're challenged to do things that maybe we weren't extremely familiar with. And so embrace a beginner mindset and allow yourself to let go of those heavy-handed expectations of approval and perfection and just these high expectations of progress. Okay, embrace that beginner mindset. Allow yourself to be teachable. Keep your heart open to that instruction and that information. So those are my 3 tips on how to set limits and boundaries for your anxiety. And I really hope that you find this helpful. I would challenge you. There's 3 tips. You do not have to apply them all, because again, that would be seeking perfection. Just pick one of them that you felt like really worked for you and really helped you, and go and apply that to your life. Just practice it a little bit each day. Maybe you start, just one day a week, saying, okay, one day a week I'm going to practice, or a certain time of the day I'm going to practice putting limits on my anxiety. Maybe in the morning's the best time for you, or maybe the evening's the best time. So in the evening, you're going to set out and just say, okay, I'm going to keep a beginner mindset. I'm going to process my day. I'm going to really allow my brain to focus on what successes I had, to really embrace my significance and the meaning I had throughout the day. And then also to really allow myself to be open to learning from everything that I've gone through for the day. And you can do that, just really only takes a few minutes each day to allow yourself to just set some boundaries and limits on your anxiety and really begin walking in mental wellness. All right. If you enjoyed this and you would like more information on how to manage anxiety, how to overcome traumas, how to deal with depression in your life, you need to get my book, all right? My book is The Authentic Woman, 21 Self-Reflections. I've put a link in the description on where you can order it from Amazon. It's an amazing book with 21 reflections, with active worksheets for you really to apply meaningful lessons into your life, and grounding interventions using essential oils. So if you are struggling, if you are, maybe you're just feel a little lost, maybe you feel stuck in some deep emotions, or maybe you just want, an emotional wellness refresher, and you really want to stay proactive on building a holistically well life. So if that's you, click the link, go and order the book, and start walking with me through your healing journey. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so you'll be notified every time I go live. I will be going live on a regular basis to really bring to you these helpful tips on how to manage your wellness and to embrace your mental health. So go below, click subscribe, check out the links. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of that, and don't miss any updates. I hope you have a wonderful day and good mental health.